Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. We're in for another tier list today. We're gonna rank all of the Kuva weapons, and obviously, once again, this is a 100% opinion piece, so feel free to share your own opinions on these weapons and my placement of them down below. Also, check out my clan/YouTube Discord in the link down below and come hang out. This channel also unlocked memberships. Skip to the time code on screen if you don't care, I won't be mad. And of course, I'm not expecting any, to be honest. But if you have $2 to spare, and I mean it, only if you could literally toss that money in the flames, then it would be super appreciated. Underneath will be a join button that allows you to unlock a badge next to your name in the comments, and eventually when I start streaming, which I would like to set up soon, you'll be a part of the members only chat. You also get some emojis, which right now are aviator sunglasses, my dog profile pic guy, and Zaku with glasses. There's also another slot open, so feel free to suggest for that last emote, cause I need an idea. I don't know what to put as the last one. You'll also, on top of that, gain access to the members only community tab where I'll most likely start putting the polls for the next video topic. There's also a $5 option for those that wish to support slightly more. I picked the prices I think were fair and I'll never be changing them. I'll also be showing the names of members at the end of videos, or member. Thank you for sitting through all that. Will most likely be the only time I mention this in a video. Okay, now let's get this video going. How's this gonna work? Well, if you've seen my Warframe tier list, you'll get the general idea of how I'd like to do these tier list videos. Revealing one item at a time, one tier at a time, with the order within the tiers having no particular importance. But whoa there, today we do it opposite style. Pull a switcheroo on ya, if you will. We like to experiment here because,
you know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
We're gonna start at the highest tier and make our way down, because I think a lot of people are already gonna be able to guess the picks for S tier in this list, as a lot of them have been meta weapons for a crazy long time. I'm also not gonna go super in depth into each weapon, but I'll be providing a short explanation of why I've placed the weapons in said specific tier. So let's talk tiers and what it means to be placed there. Starting from the top, we got S tier, the weapons that will have no trouble murking everything that even has a pixel of their left toe appear on your screen. The best of the best. A tier, weapons that are incredibly powerful and will definitely grant the player a feeling of invulnerability when using, but they're just not quite the best of the best because some of these S tier weapons are so insane that nothing else even comes close, even other powerful guns. A tier will likely have weapons worth using in any activity for you, but only if you don't have these S tier picks available to you or you just don't feel like using the S tier picks. B tier is just the average weapons, allowing for some decent ease of use and a good amount of power, but Kuva weapons take some investment to become truly disastrous to your enemies, and the weapons here just may not be worth it over spending your time and resources on higher tier weapons. Just keep in mind, B tier isn't saying something is bad, just look for better options. C tier, that's right, I actually have a C tier this time. Oh yeah, we're making improvements in these tier list videos. C tier has the weapons I would mostly stay away from unless you personally just enjoy these weapons, because it's a smaller tier and the weapons I chose for it are just ones that could be B tier with investment. But most wouldn't want to put that investment in. And I think, my opinion of course, these weapons just don't quite have that power potential of even B tier. D tier, trash garbage. Just messing with you, but no, really, these weapons are not it. If you're looking for some powerful weapons, I would avoid this tier and try to go for at least weapons in B tier or higher. These guns are just meh, if not completely useless. And of course, anyone that saw the other videos knows there's gonna be a hidden tier coming, but you'll have to watch to the end. Real quick, make sure you leave a like and maybe, let's say, comment your favorite Kuva weapons, as interaction with the videos is insanely helpful for the channel and the videos getting out there. Thank you so much. S tier first, our very first pick for the most insane weapons attainable from liches is the Kuva Shakur. I love this thing. With a good mod setup, you're basically shooting mini rockets that deal insane amounts of crit damage with a good bit of status. I personally have a Riven for mine, which just makes this thing busted beyond belief. If you're looking for fun weapons, I 100% recommend this one. Up next, of course, the big boom bow, the Kuva Brahma. This bow is most definitely the most powerful bow in the game right now. This thing will one-shot everything, and because of the blast radius, you can take out groups of enemies with complete ease. The only thing to keep in mind is your slightly low arrow count with this weapon, but even with that, this thing is unequivocally a top tier pick. Brahma is a champion's weapon, and you definitely want to get your hands on one. Next up is the secondary weapon that I have an addiction to, the Kuva Nukor, the enemy evaporator if there has to be one. Even being a secondary pistol, this weapon does it all. You can set it up to be only a mega status applier for a melee weapon build, and what I use it for, which is straight up nutty damage and absolutely deleting every enemy from the map. It doesn't even matter who your progenitor is, if I'm being honest. This weapon is just beyond insane, and if you don't have this, go get it next for sure. The Kuva Ogress comes in next, a massively powerful AoE weapon, and a top choice for many players. This weapon pretty much shoots nukes. This thing will wreck anything on the map. You don't even really need line of sight with this thing, it's that good. A gargantuan explosion on top of another and another, and eventually the whole map has been eviscerated. And finally, of course, the last S tier pick is the Kuva Czar. Although I don't really like this thing, everyone knows it's insane. Not only does it have an OP as shit cannonball shot that will hit 1,000,000 enemies at a time, but it also boasts a barrage option, allowing for a different build if you like. And even when using the barrage mode, this weapon still has crazy potential beyond even some of the other S tier picks. But again, I'm pretty sure everyone knows how nutty this thing truly is. Enough said. Now we head down to A tier, and the first easy choice for me in this tier is the Kuva Comb. A very useful shotgun, and one that I find very fun to use as well. This weapon holds a very high status chance and is very good at shredding once you've spooled it up. This weapon, I think, is one of the best shotguns in the game, and when fully spooled up, nothing will be able to stand in your way. Next up in A tier is an arc gun, this being the Kuva llBonkll. This arc gun is very fun to use, allowing for grenade explosions all over the place, and of course, having a Kuva weapon on a necromech is very useful, especially if you're heading into things like Necrolisk to do bounties, as your llBonkll does blast damage, so it should make doing those bounties in your necromech much easier. Along with the llBonkll, I'm going to throw in the Kuva Gratler right next to it, as they are very similar power-wise, and both include that blast and explosion type bullet. So in my opinion, they are similar enough to be placed next to each other in the A tier. Although, if you're looking for which one is better, I've mostly heard that the llBonkll is the one you want to run, if you are someone who has to know which one tops the other. So, use llBonkll. Next up, we got the only Kuva melee weapon, the Shield Egg. And yeah, maybe this thing isn't A tier worthy, I hear ya, but it's the only melee weapon, so I gave it a little push. It's not bad by any means though, so if you get one, hold on to it and give it a fair shot. Now we head into the B tier, starting off with the Kuva Hack. Yes, I know, hold your horses before you guys riot. The reason I've placed this in B tier is because recently I've seen no one running this. Instead, I've seen its variant, the Kuva Hack, way more often. So it seems that farming another Kuva weapon while also going for this Kuva variant in Steel Meridian rank would be a much better use of your time than going for this Kuva weapon, at least at first. Next up in B tier, we got the Kuva Kortak. I know, calm down. I know you're thinking, how is this thing in the same tier as Heck? And let me tell ya, give it a shot, alright? I really like this thing's alt fire and it can do pretty good damage. This weapon offers a burst mode that's just much better than its auto, and it allows for some really good damage and crit, as well as having some decent status. The problem is it's just lacking in power in general a little bit, and that's why it ends up in B tier. But trust me, it can be pretty good. Just give it a shot. Already at the last weapon in B tier, we got the Kuva twin Stubbas. These dual SMGs can be very powerful in the right hands and with enough investment. These weapons have a very good status, accuracy, and fire rate stat, as well as having a very large magazine, which allows for prolonged shredding for the whole mission once you've set it up. This weapon is more of a B tier Heck than a B tier Kortak, and worth your time if you don't have any of the tiers above picks. C tier includes 2 weapons, so I'll just slap them both up right now. First, we got the Dracoon. This one is 100% opinionated, and feel free to tell the people its real rank, but I don't like this thing, so screw it, it gets C tier. And secondly is the Kuva Hind. Just an average AR in my opinion, a little worse than Kortak, which I know will be debated, and a little better than Karak, which I don't think will be debated. It's just boring to use, but offers some potential for those that really want to use it. Now we get to the bottom tier weapons. These weapons, just don't worry about them until you need MR rank, at least if all you're looking for is power. By all means, if these weapons interest you, try them out. I'm not a gatekeeper. If you think that one of these could be insanely good and you know how to do it, go for it. One of them might be a sleeper pick. Firstly, we got the Brac. This thing blows. Insanely trash damage fall off, with it dropping from 100% to 4% within 10 to 20 meters. As well as this, Brac also has lackluster damage, so I would avoid this little shoddy. Next up, we got the Kuva Kraken. It just sucks. low damage, and pretty below average reload. I don't think I've seen a single person using this thing in like a year, and that's all I got for it. Like, it's just bad. Don't use the Kraken, man. We head on to the Kuva Seer next. Although being a good long distance weapon, the insane zoom hurts it if enemies get close, which happens all the time in this game. Along with that, the Seer only takes 3 reloads, that's right, 3, to completely run out of ammo, which is dumb, and it doesn't make up for it in power like the Brahma does. It also has a low fire rate and low reload speed, so this thing may be pretty decent for a long shot type weapon, but there's just so many things that bring it down. Finally in D tier, we got the Kuva Karak. This thing's only got one reason for being here. It has insanely low damage per shot, and you can feel it when using the weapon. There are just a million better AR options, even better Kuva AR options available to a Tenno at the point where liches are defeatable, so it's just not really worth it to go after this one unless it's for MR. All done. Ha, got you anyway, or not, and you remember there's a secret tier, and here we are. The lowest tier is Tonkor tier, where only stupid stinky ass Tonkor is. Get it out of here. Tonkor sucks. Get out of here. Alright, that aside, that's the list, everybody. Feel free to share your opinion on the list, just don't be a dick. And make sure to let me know what your favorite Kuva weapon is in the comments down below. That being said, I hope you all enjoyed, and good night.
So it's into the void, now me girls and me boys, from mother's hands we go. We'll be sailing to the sun till the voyage is done, then we'll be sleeping in the cold.